Disclaimer: I do not claim to know everything there is to know about voodoo. I do not practice the voodoo religion, and I never have. This is just another video, an explanation of how a lot of the things that Black people do are considered evil when they have either assisted us in freeing us from bondage, or they are not evil at all, or not every aspect of it is evil. So, voodoo comes from the Fon language, which means spirit or God. It also incorporates song, drumming, prayer, and possession. And if any of those things sound familiar, it's because song, drumming, prayer, and possession is still done in the Black Christian church. The first revolution that voodoo took a huge role in was the Haitian Revolution. Voodooism played an important role during emancipation in Haiti. Besides the fact that the revolution was sparked by a voodoo ceremony, voodoo enabled the people to meet together, form political and cultural ideas, and served as the staging arena for pro-independent speakers to get their message across. During times of slavery, voodoo was officially banned, and you can only guess why. But that did not prevent the practice of voodoo in secret. This subversion and act of defiance of authority set the groundwork for a larger resistance. Voodoo was later legalized when a constitution was drawn up, but voodoo's influence on the revolution can be seen by the fact that prominent voodoo officials sparked the revolution, while lesser leaders later brought the message of freedom throughout the island. Next, we have the revolution that occurred down in Charleston, South Carolina. Gullah Jack is historically known for his role as a co-conspirator along with Denmark Vesey, and planning a large slave rebellion that would become known as Denmark Vesey Slave Conspiracy in 1822. Both Vesey and Gullah Jack were involved in some capacity with the AME Church in Charleston. It was at the AME Church that Vesey recruited Gullah Jack for his planned uprising in Charleston. Using his Africa-based influences, Gullah Jack was crucial in recruiting African-born slaves as soldiers and provided them with charms as protection against the Bukra, also known as whites. He is also said to have used his spiritual powers to terrify others into keeping silent about the conspiracy. Historians believe Jack's strong African culture contrasted against Vesey's preaching, helping attract many of the slaves that joined the revolt. So with that being said, that says that some of the slaves were attracted more to Gullah Jack's message, and some of the slaves were attracted more to Denmark Vesey's way of preaching and practices. And like it said a little earlier, Gullah Jack recruited the African-born slaves because they were more familiar with him and his way of doing things. However, the American-born slaves, which had probably already been Christianized, were attracted more to Vesey's way of preaching and bringing them in. So the Vesey plot involved taking over the state armory to arm slaves from rural areas and the local sea islands who would rise up and assist the others in revolt. The slaves would then kill off the whites in Charleston, take the city, and finally use the city's ship to escape, supposedly to Haiti, where slaves had overthrown the white government and now ruled. So Haiti was indeed an example and came before the Charleston Uprising. And so that has its significance there as well. Before the Charleston Uprising and the Haitian Revolution, there was Queen Nanny, my absolute favorite. In Jamaica, the Maroons were led by Queen Nanny, all due respect. Many in her community attributed Nanny's leadership skills to her Obeah powers. Now, Obeah is an African-derived religion that is still practiced in Suriname, Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, Guyana, Barbados, Belize, and other Caribbean countries. It is also associated with both good and bad magic. charms, luck, and with mysticism in general. In some Caribbean nations, aspects of Obeah have survived through synthesis with Christian symbolism and practice introduced by European colonials and slave masters. According to Maroon oral history, Nanny's success in defending her people against the colonial forces was often attributed to her mysterious supernatural powers. According to legend, Nanny had magical powers and could catch bullets and then redirect them back at the people who shot at her. Another Maroon legend claims that if any straight-haired white man goes into the original Nanny town, he is immediately struck dead. Now, this is in Blue Mountain territory, and this occurred in 1720, around 1720 to 1739. Queen Nanny and the Maroons of the Blue Mountains had many, many triumphs against the British and fighting for their freedom against the British, and they have remained and contained that freedom up until this day. I actually went to Jamaica just to see the grave of Queen Nanny and to visit the Blue Mountains where the Maroons reside. I was not able to ascend up into the mountains and meet them face to face. However, I did see Queen Nanny's bump, and it was such an eye-opening and great feeling to know that I was standing there next to and on the grave of such a phenomenal woman. I did not think anything about voodoo, hoodoo, or whatever else other people besides Black people may call our practices. I was just thinking about the tremendous strength and power and knowledge and wisdom that this woman had in the 1700s, using guerrilla warfare to bring her people to freedom. I just had to see it. So to know that there was a Black, female, African-born woman that defeated the British, living in the mountains of a country she was not born in, was phenomenal to me. So this video again is about voodoo and the fact that voodoo was a contributor in all three of these revolutions. It's something to be said about that. I'm not a practicer of this religion, like I said. However, I just wanted to be known that it was prevalent and relevant in all of these revolutions. And so with that being said, I want you all to think for yourselves. Not everything they teach us is evil. There's evil and good, and there's good and evil. And it is up to you to ask your higher power for a better and deeper understanding and to chew the meat and spit out the bones. You all be blessed.